Why is this that moment in history?
Well, it is strange to think about whether the election had gone the other way and whether any of these issues really would have been dealt with without what happened. And I'm not here to support one candidate over the other. That's not our call. But you can't ignore the information that's coming out. You just can't ignore allegations that have been outlined in under oath affidavits that, for example, these voting machines count votes on a percentage basis. And so there's evidence that 200 ballots were run through some of these instruments and 100 for one candidate and 100 for the other candidate. Except the count came out 87 for one candidate and 113 for another. And they couldn't believe it. This was in Georgia. So they ran the 200 through again. 100 for one candidate, 100 for another candidate. No. Again, 87 for one, 113 for another. So that means that an algorithm was set. There's information that the votes that were the ballots that were introduced to the machines were the information was sent out of the country and then adjudicated and then sent back into the country. Well, what is that all about? None of us thought that these voting machines could even be connected to the internet. So now that we know that they were, and that's beyond any doubt, well, we've got to take care of this situation. So let's just say, for example, without picking sides, that the incumbent President Trump had won the election. Well, maybe we wouldn't even be talking about this. Maybe we wouldn't be dealing with it. Maybe it wouldn't have come to the fore. And frankly, maybe it was a wiser decision to just let this presidential election be accurately counted. But that wasn't what happened. So this is the time in history, and I don't think it's predestined. I'm not sure there's prophecy involved. All I know is everyone feels it. Everyone knows exactly what we're talking about. Everyone feels this sense of emptiness or fear. And, if you're candidate one, you're all happy about it. But I even think that many people who are happy about the Biden victory must have some suspicions. And if they don't, they're suppressing him. And even if they don't, the whole point is, what's the truth? What are the real facts? What are we going to find? This isn't a fishing expedition. We have a foundation of facts that we're going to build from. But in the end, if it's established that a voting machine can't just simply accurately count the votes, then where are we? Now, I understand that some ballots have to be so-called adjudicated. I understand that. And that somebody has to take a look at the intent of the voter, whether or not a box was filled in completely or whether it was circled or whatever the case may be. But the error rates that are coming out of some of these precincts that are doing just basic audits, error rates over 50% when they really should be maybe one in a couple of thousand, maybe one in a couple of 100,000. But the error rate's 50% or higher, and that all of those ballots, 50% or higher, are all being adjudicated, maybe in a foreign country. Well, that ought to concern everybody. That just ought to concern everybody. And so that's really what this is all about. It's an allegation based upon a foundation of facts, but one that has to be further researched and information needs to be discovered and shared and analyzed, and the truth needs to surface as to exactly what's happening here. It seems so simple that you could just count a vote and add it up, even with the adjudications, but that's just not what took place.